is cognitive behavioral therapy?
Well, that's a really fun thing. There's three basic ideas to it, and they're all simple. They sound simple, but they're very powerful. The first goes back 2,000 years to the Greek philosopher Epictetus, and he said people are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. In other words, our thoughts about what's happening create our emotions. Like right now, I'm thinking, gosh, this is kind of fun. This is going to be a fun hour. This guy I'm talking to is interviewing me. Seems like really a good guy, and gee, I'm lucky to have this chance. This is going to be great. So I feel happy. Now, someone listening right now, they could be having different thoughts. They could be thinking, gosh, this Burns sounds like a quack. He sounds like an ass. He's probably arrogant and, and so they're feeling annoyed, and then someone else could be thinking, wow, he's got something new. You can recover really quickly now from depression. This is exciting. So the person who's thinking that, they're feeling happy. See, everyone's hearing exactly the same words, but everyone has different emotions depending on your thoughts. And that's that first idea. Your thoughts create all of your emotions in the here and now. And that's really been known since the time of Buddha, actually, 2,500 years ago. But it's such a basic idea, most people can't get it. Even the people hearing the show right now, they heard me say it, but they don't know what it means. My thoughts create my emotions? What does that mean? People think. But it's very easy. You have thoughts, you're telling yourself things, and that's the entire and only cause of all of your emotions. And if you're depressed, you're giving yourself negative messages. I'm a loser. What's wrong with me? I shouldn't have screwed up. Why am I so anxious in social situations? There must be something wrong with me. When I give that talk at work, I just know I'm going to blow it. I'll screw up. People are going to judge me. I'm going to look nervous. I'll look like a fool. All these, I'll never get better. I'm going to be depressed forever. I'm a hopeless case. These are the kind of thoughts that people who are depressed and anxious have, and those thoughts are the total cause of the depression. That's the first idea. And it's not a chemical imbalance in your brain. It's not your childhood. It's not your genes, although all those things might have background influences, but it's what you're thinking right now. Now, the second idea is that depression and anxiety are the world's oldest cons. This is new. Epictetus, 2,000 years ago, he didn't figure out this part of it. But it's like when you tell yourself, I'm a loser, I'll be alone forever, I'm unlovable, I'm a failure, you're involved in these subtle thinking errors that you don't realize, like all or nothing thinking. If I'm not a complete success, I'm a failure. Or overgeneralization. My boyfriend rejected me. This means I'm unlovable. A young woman told me that just recently, and she was very depressed, and she was saying, I'll be alone forever. See, that's overgeneralizing from a negative event. I broke up with my boyfriend, or he broke up with me, however you want to put it. Then she thinks she has a self that's unlovable. That's an overgeneralization. And without overgeneralization, depression is impossible. And the Buddha knew this really in a way 2,500 years ago. He said that nothing on the surface of the earth could possibly cause depression. You could be disappointed if your paper isn't accepted for publication, or sad if a loved one dies. But depression only exists in the clouds of abstraction, like I'm a loser, I'll be alone forever, there's something wrong with me, all this vague talk. And there's 10 of those thinking errors. There's, mental filtering. Depressed patients are like they're drunk with negativity, and they pick out everything that's wrong with you, and your environment. You're like a horse with blinders. You see all of your faults, and then discounting the positive. You say your positive qualities don't count. I was eventually I started to get on some TV shows once the book became feeling good became well known, started selling, and I got to do a little morning TV show in Cincinnati with a really nice guy. He had a live audience, and it was an hour show, and I was the guest on the show. He had a band and everything, and it was really cool. And we talked about depression and anxiety. And then at the end, he said, I think I need a little, I need a little shrink session right now. And I said, well, sure, I'll be glad to help you out. What is it? And he says, well, after every show, I got roughly 300 fan letters. And this was in the time before emails. I'm dating myself a little bit here. But he said, there 299 will be glowing with praise. And I'll get one mean-spirited, critical letter. And then I think about that one all day long and make myself miserable as if that 290 didn't count. And that's mental filtering and discounting the positive. You make yourself miserable that way. And there's a lot of other thinking errors. Should statements. I shouldn't have screwed up. Self-blame, where you blame yourself for all kinds of things you weren't maybe even entirely responsible for. And emotional reasoning. I feel like a loser, so I must be one. I feel hopeless, so I must be hopeless. Reasoning from how you feel. And that's not valid because your feelings are created by your thoughts. And if your thoughts are distorted and illogical, your feelings will not reflect reality any more than when you look into a curved mirror in the fun house at an amusement park and you see these weird images of yourself. That's what emotional reasoning is. You're seeing a grotesque view of yourself, vision of yourself that isn't at all valid.